Hello. So you might hear my son in the background, but he is playing with friends, playing a game, and they're very excited. So hopefully it doesn't intervene too much here, but I would like to do a warm up before I work on some commissions. Um, this is going to be I want to say about 15 minutes once I get the reference set up, which as you can see, I do have a reference right here, and I'm just gonna kind of go over what I'm doing while I do it. Maybe just talk about other stuff. Who knows? So let's get into it. First of all, I'm gonna stop here and close that door. Maybe it'll help with the sound just a little bit. Alright, so I am back, and I'm gonna start the timer now. I have my tea ready, and I have my reference, which is just this pose. I'm not sure what show this might have come from, but we're going to use it as a guideline for the poses. So what I'm going to do is just kind of, I'm not sure what this is called. What is this? It's called Change Layer Color in Clip Studio Paint. And I like to use it to sketch over, and I'm simply going to get the poses here. So because I kind of want to focus my study on, well, my warm up on just getting back into the vibes of doing art. So we'll just try to imagine what these parts are. Elbow, elbow, knee. I'm not very good with the lower half of the body. That is something I'm still working on. So, try to, and heads in this perspective is not easy. Okay, so that should help that one. And then this one, see the front of the chest, down. Sorry, I talk to myself when I do this all the time too. So, yeah, this is kind of boring, but you know, it helps with getting it set up. I already have an idea of what characters to use here, so see how it works out. If it works out, a lot of times I do these kind of studies and I never end up using them for anything, let alone finishing. Okay, so that's good enough. Sometimes I go more, sometimes I go less, but this should be good. Scroll up. So now this one, I will do it again and then draw over it. So, on a new layer too. So, the first character is going to be Kaelin. Usually I pull up references, but I know what he looks like, so. So yeah, today is Wednesday, and it has been a day. Right now there are thousands of wildfires going on up north in Canada. It hasn't affected the smell in the air down where I live, but it has affected the sky. It's pretty hazy outside. Like when I woke up this morning and I looked outside, it was very yellow outside. It's very different than it usually is. But again, I'm not as close, and I checked the air quality alerts, and it's nothing close to what's going on up north. So pretty fortunate in that regard. Try to draw a broken nose in this angle. It's interesting. Sometimes I get hung up sometimes on wanting to show the entire face of the character. That when I'm in the sketching phase or even the painting phase, I'll just end up drawing too much of it from at a certain angle, which would end up warping the entire shape of their head, and I'd be wondering, why does it look bad? Why does it look bad? And that's half the reason why I have a problem with drawing profiles. But yeah, that's why it's good to practice. And I have a kind of a complicated commission coming up that I just want to get into the headspace of drawing to be able to figure out and problem solve. Yeah. I have been drawing for a long time. He has wide shoulders. But I haven't had any formal training. Like, by formal I mean I haven't gone to a school. But in 2018, I believe it was, I had saved up enough money to take a one-on-one mentorship program with Adam Duff, who runs Lucipixel, and he has a channel on here, and I'll go ahead and link that. It's really cool. I loved that course. The whole thing, it was like 8 weeks, went over everything on proportions, on anatomy, superficial muscles, and so many things that I didn't know about, never thought about. And I'm going to go ahead and put this up to where I can see it color, because that'll just help me keep some things in mind, because clothes. He's wearing a coat, but it's, or a jacket, but it's not quite a tunic like that, but it does have this spot. Alright. Elbow. But yeah, so it cost, back then, it was like $800 US dollars, I think. 800 Canadian dollars, maybe. I don't know. It might have gone up since then, but it's totally worth it. I got to really connect with what kind of style I was going for, try to really think about that. He offered a lot of insight into the industry, the things to expect, and ways to kind of think about what you're doing, like why you're doing what you're doing. I think that's the main thing, is why you're doing what you're doing, and, you know, why do you want to be an artist? You know, are you, and a lot of stuff about the industry too, like he has oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Okay, give me a second, let me fix this. How much of this is on the wrong layer? Oh boy. Okay. But, I mean, he's been around for a long time in the industry, and as a result, he knows a ton, and it's been very helpful, very insightful, and I've learned so much from him. And every time somebody's like, you know, where do I start to learn, I would recommend taking a mentorship over going to a college, simply because money is a big factor. And if I could take another mentorship, I would. In fact, I kind of did. It wasn't really a mentorship, it was an online class through Class 101, I think is what it's called. And it was good, but the difference is with Adam Duff's Lucipixel, you get access, I believe, indefinitely to the videos and tutorials, or lessons. And so you can retake it over and over and over as to your heart's desire. And it's always been my goal to kind of set aside time to do that. I just haven't been able to. And guys, supposed to have thicker thighs. There we go. So, but the Class 101 is like, you got like 6 months, I think, and then it runs out. And you'd have to pay for it again, and it was $150. So I mean, the price range is good, and I guess it makes sense that you don't get unlimited access, but you also get to talk to the instructor, And I took that course in particularly because it went over using Clip Studio Paint. And I had been for a long time trying to move away from Photoshop because like I had Photoshop CS5, the CD version. It was like one of the last versions before they went subscription. I got it in college. I'm like in my 30s now, so it's like 10 years ago. And I did not ever want to buy a subscription. Well, unfortunately, when I got my new computer, my old CS5 stopped working. And I was like, oh great, so now I have to. And I did. I got the subscription for like $10 a month, but you're locked into it for a year. So every year, your contract with them renews. And I just didn't want to give them any more money, especially with the whole AI crap show that they're doing. And so that's another story, another tangent I don't want to get into right now. But so I took it to learn CSP, which is Clip Studio Paint, which is what I'm using right now. And I'll tell you what, I can do everything I could do in Photoshop except for typography. And I think that's like the only thing that I wish I could do. His pinky's out. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I want to do that. I need to learn more variations here. But I needed to take a course on it because I just messing around with it wasn't really doing it for me. I was still being really slow at learning. It's a learning curve. But once you figure it out, it's a good replacement in my opinion. And for like, I paid $50 for it, I think, and I have it forever. And then it just came out with a new update, and I only paid $13 for the update. So it's like, it's affordable. And, you know, I have to redo that here later. Yeah. There we go. Alright. Yeah, so I would recommend it. And if you need a course, it never hurts to look through these course sites. I figure as long as it's taught by someone who very clearly knows the craft, has a good portfolio, you're gonna learn a lot. And when it came to Adam Duff, because of his extensive knowledge and experience in the industry, he's no stranger to adapting, and so it's not like you can go through his YouTube and find him reviewing like Procreate and stuff like that. So if you want to get more art reviews for like certain products, he probably has almost everything. So, yep. So that's how I started. Was I basically learned on my own for a long time, from tutorials on DeviantArt, from critiques I'd ask people, and mentorships, a mentorship, and online classes. Like I did actually get Udemy courses, which are great too. Hardy Fowler is, and he has a YouTube too. He's really good with all kinds of things, and I've got like almost all his courses. If you wait for a sale, you can get them for like $20 and access them forever. And I've done two. I've done one on character rendering, and one on weapons. It was years ago, but it still applies, even though they're kind of old. They would still apply, I do believe, today. Okay, so this character has hair that goes like this. So yeah, I mean, if that helps. I do feel like I'm just kind of rambling, and I apologize, but thank you if you stayed this long. I appreciate it. If you have suggestions on things you'd like me to talk about, I can actually try scripting something because this is not scripted at all. I just sort of turned on my recording software and picked out a reference and decided, alright, today's the day I'm going to record and try to actually put content out there. Because I've wanted to, like, sort of share my art and my art journey with others because why not? You know, one of the great things about art is that it's a method of communication, a method of reaching out and building community. And one of the things that's really hard for artists to find, maintain, and have is community. It's just not very many. I mean, there are a lot of things out there for artists. It's just depending on your circumstances, it might be hard to find that community. My 15-minute timer is about up, so I will probably have to finish this off screen. But thank you for coming to this talk, this rambling. I hope you have some good tea, and this was educational. And do check out Adam Duff, Lucid Pixel, and Hardy Fowler. If you want to tune in again, I'm going to try to do this again either in a few days, maybe next week. But, alright, thank you. Bye.